All right, so today we're talking about when I decided to stop asking why me, and the when I stopped asking why me, I discovered the strength in my survival. When I stopped asking why me, I actually discovered the strength that God had gave me to survive. To survive. I remember when God first told me that I was called to speak and he was going to call me to speak. I was so nervous. I didn't want to. We just did the Reclaiming the Voice series and y'all saw all the videos, right? I was so adamant. Like, silence was really my go to because I could not deal no longer with people telling me I speak before I think. And that was far from the truth. And I didn't realize at the time that most of those people that were saying that is because they couldn't handle what was being said, right? And I never said nothing out of turn. I never didn't say anything without like asking people, like, I'm good with that. And I've kind of mastered asking people, like, so do you want to know do you want to hear what I have to say, or do you not want to hear what I have to say? Just because some people just don't want to hear the truth. And that's fine. That's okay. That's your prerogative. And, it is what it is. But I remember when I first started on this journey of speaking, and I remember, my pastor at the time, how he did this altar call for all of the prophets. That he was like, if God has called you a prophet and and God has confirmed that with you, this is confirmation. Come to the altar. I want to pray over all you guys. And so God had already confirmed to me 2 nights before, and me and God had already been talking about it. And I was crying because I was like, why me? I don't understand why me. And I understand now, of course, but I didn't understand. And I knew, like, I was a strong friend, right? I was the strong person that at that time, but I didn't know the strength I was going to discover on the way, on the journey. I just want y'all to know that, like, I didn't realize the strength that I was about to discover once that was it. That was there, right? And so I just remember, and I remember somebody saying too, like, somebody that was in the church, and they were like, you went up there to the Oscar whoop and this and that, and I was like, yeah, like, that's what God told me to do, so I did, and He prayed over me. So what's the problem? And she was mad. She was like, well, how come you ain't told pastor and all this? And I just looked at her. I don't even think I gave a response. I just kind of looked at her because it wasn't no conference call. Like, God moved me to go get prayer at the altar, but there was no conference call. And a lot of times we ask, why me? Because if you were in a church and you served in a church and you were, y'all, if you were in a church heavily, and then you kind of like feel as if God is calling you to do something else, and then you're kind of in that middle where you kind of like two-stepping, you kind of like doing that one back up, one back up, one back up kind of, because you don't want to move out of feeling like you're out of order because you ain't going and announce it to the pastor or somebody that this is where God is leading you. But let me tell you right now, a lot of times this is not no conversation. This ain't no conference call. And I couldn't understand when people were saying, your calling is not what God is calling you to do is not a conference call with other people. It is between you, God, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus. That is your conference call right there. It's your choice to be obedient, but there's no conference call in that. And a lot of times we get stuck with the why me because we think that, why me? Why I don't feel like I'm worthy, and What if this person don't approve it? Like, why me? And we have to get into that mode of, it's you because God says so. Because God already knows what's in you. God already know what you could do before you know you could do it. I discovered a different type of strength in me when I went through a journey of homelessness. And me and my kids had to sleep in a car. And I was working to pay for a hotel every other week. I discovered the strength of me driving across countries with my kids. And we went and we were experiencing that valley of homelessness together. I discovered my strength when I married a man that I thought I was going to be with for the rest of my life. And then we got a divorce. I discovered my strength when I walked away from my family and left the nest completely and was like, I cannot do this anymore. I need to go fly solo on my own. I discovered my strength when God said, I need you to go back home because I need you to face the very things that you're running away from and the people you're running away from. And then I had to go into a homeless shelter, which was not a shelter. It's really not a shelter per se, but I had to go in that place in the mission in order for me to get to right here. I discovered different levels of my strength as it continued to grow. For I am weak, but he who strengthens me. For I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. I stopped asking why me when I started to discover the strength that was within me. So my encouragement to you is, stop asking why me and start asking God, what are you trying to discuss? What are you trying to have me discover that is within me? You're birthing something within me. He birthed a new strength in me through those valleys. So stop and ask God, why me? And what you want me to discover. Have a great day. Bye.